Hi guys, welcome back. This is my second video in the parts that I was doing about dealing with anxiety while you're at school. Today I'm going to give you a few quick tips on being organised, staying organised, because this will then reduce your anxiety. So obviously the first one is going to be learn your timetable or your schedule. By knowing what you have coming up in the day, where you need to be, when, you're automatically less anxious about the day because you have a set plan. Now, a few tips to learn this is take a picture of it and have it as your phone lock screen, and try and get multiple paper copies. Have one in your pocket or your bag, have one at home on like your desk or your wall. I even had one on my fridge so that my mum could look at it, so she knew when I was in classes. This was mainly for when I got to like college level rather than the secondary. But try and learn your timetable sooner rather than later. This will reduce your overall anxiety about the upcoming days. Another thing which most people tend to not do, and they really should, is sort your school bag out the night before. By doing it in the morning, you're more anxious, you're more stressed, you're rushing. Doing it on a night means that's one less thing to do in the morning. It also means you can have a quick check in the morning to make sure you have got anything, which reduces the chance of you forgetting something, which then stops the anxiety of thinking you have forgotten something. One of my main tips is do your homework or your assignments as soon as you can, whether this is straight after class if you have a free, or when you get home from school. This way you don't have to stress about them or worry about them coming towards deadlines. And it gives you more free time on weekends, so you can hang out with your friends, maybe get an after school, like a weekend job, stuff like that. Always prioritise the stuff due first, and then if you have two things due on the same day, try and do the ones that are going to take the most time first. Always do the ones that are more time consuming first, because then when you get to the shorter ones, it makes you feel better about yourself. You're more positive to get it done. You feel more motivated because you're thinking, right, 20 minutes and I'm done for the day. So that's something I do as soon as you can. Revision cards or revision material, try and do them as you go through topics, as you go through your modules, or during summer holidays to keep your brain going, so that when it comes to revision time, you're not stressing, you're not worried, you can sit, you have your notes, you get more actual revision done. Another thing I'd suggest is, this is more for when you're in class. If you are allowed your phone or a laptop, try and record your lecture, just so that you don't feel worried about if you do miss a note. Or if you are given your PowerPoints online for you to follow along, print them off and just add to them in a lecture or a class. This way then you don't have to stress and worry about making sure you have all the information written down. It is already there for you. This reduces then your anxiety and you tend to get better notes done. For me, at my university, we have Panopto recordings and everything's online. So this is already done for me. So then I can sit in lectures, write the odd note, but more take it in and listen. Now, a lot of schools, you are told you have to write in black pen. However, if you can use blue pens, you tend to take in more when you write in blue. And highlight key areas, different colour highlighters for different things, such as dates, places, names, scientific terms, stuff like that. However, if you can only write in black, write up at home in a notebook in a different colour. The act of rewriting also helps you remember more. Try and do reading and extra studying. in advance if you can. This way you already have a basic idea and you can come up with questions ready. Another thing is, a lot of people have anxiety when it comes to asking questions. If you do have a question and you are too scared to ask, there are online places. However, a lot of these are unreliable. So you could either stay behind and talk to your teacher, your professor, your lecturer, or email them. Or if you inquire about having a anonymous question box or something. For some of my lectures, we get handed post-it notes to ask stuff and write stuff down, and then in the following lecture, these things tend to go over more. If you're still too shy or scared to do this, your anxiety is playing up, try and make friends with somebody in your class that seems to be a little bit louder than you, a little bit more outgoing in a sense. Therefore, you can get them to ask your questions for you. If this is still something that you struggle with, or you've tried this and you just end up suffering in silence, there is stuff online for help. Recording a lesson or a lecture might be a better option for you. A lot of schools and that don't let you use phones, but you can, if you have a good microphone on your phone, have a voice record going off while your phone is in your pocket. Regarding the class is quiet, this works. There are various different ways you can go around this. Another thing I would recommend is, when it comes to revision time, have a minimum of 3 questions per topic to ask. This way your understanding is better. So I want to quickly go on about best techniques for revising and studying and that. When you revise, do a practice paper first. This way you know what areas you need to work on, and do it to do 3/4 of the stuff you struggle with and a quarter of the stuff you know and you're good at. This way then you don't forget the stuff you're good at, but you are focused on the stuff that you don't quite get. I'd recommend doing practice papers once a week. This just then helps, you to see where you're improving, where you're not, to help you focus your revision better. Try and create or schedule certain times during the week for revision and homework. By being organised, you are being more productive. It reduces your anxiety. Don't overdo it. So do 2 hours work, 20 minutes off, an hour work, 5 minutes off, whatever works for you. And always schedule times for different activities. So I used to do taekwondo on Tuesdays and Fridays. And then occasionally on Saturdays we had grading, so I was out then. I also used to go roller skating on Saturdays. This would take up most of my day. So have time for you, have time to spend with your friends, so you're not overdoing it. Set certain sleep patterns, like when you should go to bed, when you should get up, as well as certain times for food. As then your body gets into a routine of this, and then you don't feel as tired or as hungry throughout the day. You can focus more on work, be more productive, get more notes taken, so then your anxiety is reduced. If you have an issue with a teacher, a lecturer, or students that causes you massive anxiety for that class, report it. However, if this does not work, ask if you can be moved classes. I had to do this in my second year of college. I had to go through meetings. Eventually it got done. I got moved, I could focus better in classes, get more done. Another thing is try and not sit with your friends if you can choose where to sit, as when you're with your friends, you want to have general chit chat. You don't really want to focus on your lessons, and this is obviously bad. I have one final tip to help you keep organised, to like reduce your anxiety of the overall thing. Try and have a different folder for each subject. This way then you know where everything is, keep everything dated, everything in the order of it's done. And then at the end of the year, during the summer holidays, you can compress it all into one folder after you've done like your revision notes or your revision materials. So in this way, you're not, you know where everything is, everything's organised. Don't just throw stuff into folders. Personally, I would use a folder and put piece of papers in, rather than use a notebook. Just because sometimes you could be taught stuff in a different order to what it's useful for, or sometimes you need to rearrange it. And by doing it in paper, you can tear out and put it into folders, you are less likely to get to put like the wrong subject in with stuff. Another thing, when you do compress your folders, try and put each module or each topic into a plastic wallet, so then it's easier to take them out when you need to study it. Also use like contents pages, index cards, page dividers, stuff like that. I think that's everything that I really want to go over. If you are somebody who prefers to learn through listening, record your notes, like speak your notes so then you can listen to them and then people think you're listening to music. That's mainly for like revision. But really, to reduce your anxiety at school, you just need to stay organised. To-do lists, timetables, colours, page dividers, folders, anything like that. If this is something you do struggle with, feel free to message me on my Instagram, and I will do a quick lesson, a search of how to keep your folders organised. Or if there's something that a lot of people want, you can comment on this video, stuff like that, and we'll see from there. I also don't mind creating like printables for you if you do need like schedules or timetables or stuff like that. Maybe assignment trackers. I don't mind creating those sort of stuff for you if you need them. I know having them had really reduced my anxiety because I could clearly see when everything was due, what I'd done, what needed to be done, and then I also tracked my grades. So on that note, I'll see you next week. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope these tips help. Bye.